Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor right now and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Watchbox Reviews. Then I can deliver my best to your inbox on a daily basis. And if you enjoy these watches, you can see them and you can purchase them 24 hours a day on our website, thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches on thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing the IWC Big Pilot Watch 5009-06. This is the famous father of the 2012 second series father and son pair. There is a son, and you will see him later in the feature, but we're going to have individual videos for the two watches, the Mark 16 and the 5009. So the Big Pilot goes first, age before beauty. Alright, the Big Pilot being the father, it is a bigger watch. 46.2 millimeters. This is a big honkin' tribute to the 1940s era Luftwaffe BR pilot's watch. That was 55 millimeters. This one at just over 46 still wears as a giant on a normal sized wrist. My 16 centimeter circumference wrist barely accommodates this giant of the sky. And you can see though 46 is the diameter, 46.2 to be strictly Teutonic in the Schaffhausen fashion. Nevertheless, the watch is 56.5 millimeters from lug to lug, so you can see how the profile of the watch on the wrist, if you actually look at it across your forearm, that's the dominant dimension, not the diameter. This is a broad watch from lug to lug, and you're going to find that anything short of a 17.5 centimeter wrist looks a little bit undersized underneath this watch. However, like Panerai timepieces, the Big Pilot's watch is an oversized look. It's supposed to look big. It actually sits comfortably and securely. So if you like the authentic aviation instrument on your wrist look, you're going to enjoy this watch because it will fit on a 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Now in terms of thickness, this might be the most compact dimension. This is a watch that's only 15.8 millimeters thick, which is to say it'll actually accommodate a jacket cuff. IWC might have done its homework here. That's the most compact dimension, and it makes the watch wearable with any kind of longer, looser sleeve. It is a heavy watch, of course, with a solid case back, an anti-magnetic inner soft iron cage, an immensely substantial riveted alligator and calfskin strap, and a full clasp. You feel almost as though you're wearing precious metal on the wrist. Now you will note that the lugs are tightly downturned, so they don't flare out over your wrist as stridently as they could, but even so, just about 57 millimeters across the wrist, oversized and a bit ungainly by design. You'll also note that the strap is a burly piece. Befitting a father, the old man features a sheer cut strap, which is to say you can see the layers of the strap in profile, riveted closed with a monotone stitch, and on the underside a more supple calfskin. It is a comfortable strap and one that inspires confidence. It also aces the aesthetic of vintage aviators apparel. Inside the clasp, you can see media blasted and branded, a single fold deployant with alternately polished facets and satin finished tops. It nicely counterweights the watch, so if you wear it light and loose on the wrist, not terribly tight, you don't strangle your wrist, you've got that hefty clasp on the bottom to act almost as the keel to a sailboat to keep the watch a little bit more poised. Now the case is simple. It's almost like an enormous Calatrava in that the lugs are blended seamlessly into the flank of the case. They don't have a sculptural presence of their own. They're just part of the case band sweep. And that works well aesthetically. There's a very small hairline bevel, a polished bevel that flares just a bit at the terminus of the lugs. It pretty much disappears in the mid case. The bezel itself features another polished highlight along its upper lip, and the crystal is very, very slightly domed. For practical purposes, it's flat. The dial is unconventionally composed, though you immediately know what you're looking at, IWC Big Pilot's watch, and definitively so. It's the use of rhodium on the dial side of a watch that's unaccustomed to even veteran collectors. This is a material we more often see on the case back, the display case back, of a Swiss mechanical watch over brass, rhodium being highly corrosion resistant. It's also beautifully luminous, metallic, lustrous, and sensational in this application. You can see how in the soft light of my light box, the sunburst rhodium is rather explosive. In direct sunlight, it's downright pyrotechnic. You'll also note blued hands at center, black calibrations, very high contrast, and there will be a lume shot and a worthwhile lume shot at the end of the video. It's basically the standard IWC Big Pilot's Watch 5009, but the color scheme, the contrast, and the black, white on black date disc at 6 o'clock all set this one apart. This is one of the most distinctive of the diverse extensive and distinguished Big Pilot 5009 line. The onion-style crown is actually 10.8 millimeters in diameter in its own right. Underneath the screwed-in caseback, IWC manufacturer caliber 51111, automatic winding with a 7-day power reserve. You can see it features a power reserve on the dial side. When you screw out the crown, you have the ability to hack or stop the seconds, and you also gain a quick set function for rapidly cycling the date. Now, the caliber has a few other tricks up its sleeve, including the soft anti-magnetic inner cage that gives the watch robust anti-magnetism, the screwed-in caseback and screw-down crown that endow it with a rather stiff 60 meters. I would say with screwed-in caseback, screw-down crown, you could probably swim with this watch on the surface, and in fact, IWC has said as much. There's also a blowout protection system, so if you're in an aircraft cabin that decompresses explosively, you won't lose your seals or your crystal. The movement beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is an immense sized and shaped caliber for IWC's largest round watches like the Portuguese and the Big Pilot. It has a free-sprung index for toughness. It has an overcoil hairspring for resistance to positionally induced or gravitationally induced timing deviation, and it's adjusted in 5 positions by hand. A superb high horology movement for a watch that takes you back. The look of the timepiece may be first half 20th century, but the movement inside is very much Schaffhausen in the 21st century. Just to give scale, and because we love family photos, here is the son and here is the father. Son, father. This is the 325519, the Mark 16, and this is the father 5009-06. Stay tuned to this channel because we're going to feature a separate video for the son momentarily. And now, a Lume shot. Big Pilot's watch 5009-06, this is the father, and make no mistake, this is the stainless steel father, more wearable and more durable than the previous Platinum 5004 father. This, from the second series of 2012, can be seen with the sun on our website in the light.